of good governance presidents in Africa. That is why President Koroma was able to invite President Koroma in March to celebrate the good governance posture and the good governance approach that he introduced in Sierra Leone. That is why when 2012, simple, the MCC made its choice, chose Sierra Leone as one of those countries that have delivered on the good governance, ruling justice, and in the management of our natural resources, in the provision of social amenities and social services for our people, in terms of health and all that. They looked at all that and decided that Sierra Leone should be awarded a compact of the MCC. The Millennium Challenge Corporation was the body that set up in 2004 by the American government to assist development. But the American government will only assist governments that are working for their people. So they set up a set of indicators with which they use to measure a government's performance. Like I just said, these are in three categories. One is called ruling justly, the management of natural resources, and of course they have the civil liberties, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and democratic rights. Sierra Leone happened to pass 12 out of the 20 indicators, which is quite a big gap, about 60%.
My name is Amadou Masali. I'm the program manager for the Millennium Challenge Coordinating Unit, which was formed sometime earlier this year in response to the invitation that we got from the MCC in Washington, D.C. to propose and ask for a grant that could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars to help us for national development.
So, what are our chances of getting these hundreds of millions of dollars through an initiative of the U.S. government?
I think very good. What we need to do is to continue to do good governance in the country and do the work that we're doing with regard to developing the compact itself. And hopefully by next year or no later than 2015, we may receive funding in terms of a grant from the United States government.
Chief Alhaji Beshebura Samono Kapen, aka Kapen. Whatever you may say, you can give credit to the current president, because no journalist or no free thinker has been subject to the harshness of the law, except recently. But I have not known of any instance wherein a journalist was incarcerated for a period extending 1 week just because he or she expressed his or her own views. Even though one or two were incarcerated, but the SLPP was able to establish a free, open and tolerant society. And that is the type of society all of us now enjoy.
The most religiously tolerant people on the planet are poised for accelerated growth. Indeed, President Koroma possesses a calm almost from birth. It is almost impossible to see the president getting vexed. He has an uncanny love for people almost from birth. He would give out all his money, all his time to help other people, and still continues with this habit. President Koroma is a Christian, but Muslims recognized him as one of them. He has helped build mosques for them. As a Christian, President Koroma believes in loving his neighbors as loving himself. This is what writer Oswald Hanciles discovered in his research about the president, entitled his biography on him, Natural Born Leader. The love of the president for the people of Sierra Leone is his greatest strength.
He came out with a very good treatise, the biography of India. When I read that, I learned a lot of things. And for the Sierra Leonean youth, it is very inspirational. Any Sierra Leonean that reads that document of yours, the biography, you will be inspired by it. But
have our intellectuals live up to this type of expectation?
Sierra Leone's greatest opportunity. President Ernest Bai Koroma said that his #1 priority during his second term in office would be youth. A National Youth Commission and the Ministry of Youth has been set up by his government. The youth have put their hopes in President Koroma clearly. There is clear progress in the macroeconomic level in Sierra Leone, impressive growth level and investments into the country rising from about $50 million United States dollars 6 years ago to over $1 billion this year. But how does this growth and investment translate into jobs for the youth, into quality education and first-class professional training?
I'm very excited to be back because there is so much potential in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is on the verge of taking off. And by that I mean in terms of development, in terms of being put on the map of the world. I'm very excited and I'm urging all Sierra Leonean diasporans to come back home. Diasporans, you cannot afford to be left behind. I compliment the President of Sierra Leone, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, for his vision. The vision and the love of this country. You really have to love this country to do what the President is doing.
President Koroma said in launching the Agenda for Prosperity this year that it essentially means people taking advantage of the space, of the opportunities which government has provided. But what are these opportunities? The Njala University has been taking leadership role in inventing diverse technology, from machines to taking out the stones from locally grown rice to improved varieties of gari. All of these can lead to export markets. Youth can make cane chairs to be used locally, and for export, jobs to be created.
The party now power self now. If you know work, you don't get. You don't see. Glad from within the power, no problem, no deal. You don't see. No confusion. All man the past peaceful. I want salon.
Within the United States AGOA program, Sierra Leone can export Sierra Leone-made honey and clothes to the United States at concessionary rates. Jobs to be created. The Sierra Leone Brewery, which bottles Star Beer and Maltina, is encouraging farmers to grow sorghum, which it uses to produce Star Beer and Maltina. The Felix Fruit Factory is encouraging farmers to grow mangoes and especially pineapples, which it is exporting as concentrates to Europe. Jobs and even more jobs. Sierra Leoneans have to learn to think deeply and put their religiosity and world-famous religious tolerance into practice. Sierra Leoneans have wonderfully blended their indigenous languages and culture with Christianity and Islam. Forward into the future of this planned 16-story city hall in Freetown and this sprawling shopping mall, Sierra Leoneans must not forget the roots of their culture and their history, which would not only ground the expected surge in economic development, but will help guarantee development. There is rapid development all over the country. New roads, electricity and water plants, hospitals in Bo, Bonth, Bombali, Cambia, Koinadugu, Kenema, Kailaun, and Moyamba districts. The president recently called for a national dialogue conference at the Bintumani Hotel in Freetown.
This conference is going to be called a national dialogue. Is it going to be a dialogue of the listening or the dialogue of the deaf?
It's going to be a dialogue of all. The listening are already with us. We don't need much convincing. The deaf are not with us. We need a lot more convincing to be part of us.
The youth are speaking. We have to listen to the youth and children who are about 80% of the population.
If we want to add to the top, we only need to be ourselves. Let us learn to write our own stories and do it our own way.
Me na the manager of Black Leo Record. Black Leo na a record label. The CEO in a Caudineu.
A lot of people say hip hop not go stand here, but we will grab for rap man and more the can here. Because we get the thing where they like around here and believe the gangster gaming for we like can here.
I ain't nobody who could swagger like me. I know the freestyle cause my style not free. I buy my bottles I don't take for free. You know what it is, I'm a real OG.
In our dialogue with the youth, we have to speak the language of youth.
When filming started, nobody knew that we were under the Ministry of Information. It was I who remembered that at a particular time, they were trying to put some regulations for cinemas. You understand me? That was when I came to realize that we are under the Ministry of Information.
Sigismond Sisse, the dictator of Radicals, Sierra Leone. Radical is not an entity that kind of go against the fundamental human rights values, because Radicals was established based upon equity, fairness, the tenet of democracy and the like. So
in our national dialogue, we have to listen to the political opposition, even if we don't agree with them.
Within 100 days of his presidency, from 2007, he introduced an energy program that surprised the entire world. But he lacked a capable minister to ensure that that agenda was carried out through and through.
The president, with deep human feeling and vision, is leading the country forward to becoming a middle-income economy in 15 years' time and to become a donor country in 50 years' time.
And that is why kids everywhere call me Anes.
Prosperity is here. Prosperity is to be worked for. Prosperity means more cooperation among Sierra Leoneans, more interministerial collaboration, more synergy between government and the private sector.
And I believe that there will be good things coming out of this that will be able to carry along the greater proportion of our people. Put Sierra Leone first. Put your country above every other thing. And I believe that we have conscientious people in this country that will work along with me to promote these goals and objectives as clearly and adequately spelled out in the agenda for prosperity, which His Excellency the President has given to us.
Is guaranteed with one of the best leaders ever in human history, President Ernest Bai Koroma.
He's a natural born leader, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma.
Everything you want when woman give birth, we are everything you want when the woman give birth, we are few women give birth to a leader, yes. Mama Liz Koroma give birth to a leader. Ernest Bai Koroma is the born leader. Mama Liz Koroma, Ramo, our mother, for giving birth to Ernest, our darling president. Natural born leader, Ernest Bai Koroma. Natural born leader, Ernest Bai Koroma. Equity don't talk about you, we did for you. Equity don't do papa, we did for you. You did prove to we. you people, not that to like you. Freedom na you, open na you.